Computer. All right, the recording is going. All right, so welcome everybody. Thanks a lot for showing up for this webinar. I just kind of want to let you guys know how this is going to, kind of the plan for this. I've got a lot of different things when it comes to Facebook to talk about. It's not enough to do in one webinar. So Jason basically gave me this Friday night Chairman Factory webinar to do what I want with for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So basically, every Friday for the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to talk about my different Facebook strategies, okay? And what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to start off the way I started off, with a very, very powerful free strategy that I've done on Facebook for, almost 10 years. Almost 10 years, a little over 10 years I've been marketing on Facebook. So that's kind of going to be the format. What I'm going to do in this webinar here is I'm really not going to answer a lot of questions, if any at all. If I concentrate on the chat, I'll get distracted, and this will go from a 1-hour webinar to a 3-hour webinar. And so what I'm going to do on this webinar is I'm just going to get through the content. All right, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've done with this free strategy. And then the next webinar will be basically a question and answer webinar. But I want to talk about Facebook groups in that second webinar. But it's only going to take me about 15, 20 minutes to talk about that. And then the whole rest of the webinar is going to be a Q&A session. So you're going to be able to learn the things I teach you here today. You're going to be able to go out there and implement them for a week. And then we'll meet back here on Friday, and I'll just talk about the group real quick because it's a real important piece of my strategies. And then I'll just sit here and answer questions all night, okay, until we get all the questions answered so you guys can master this strategy. Drop a 1 in the comments if that sounds like a good plan for you guys while I take a sip of water. All right. Okay, I mean, 1. Oh, geez, you guys are on command, man. It's almost just 400 people on this webinar. That's crazy. I think my biggest webinar was about 100, 200 people. So 400, and it's only 6:05. I'm sure there'll be a lot of. How can I find this recording? I don't know yet. All I know is I'm recording it, and if the recording goes through, we'll get it to you somehow. I'll just give it to Jason, and Jason can do whatever he wants to do with it. Email it out to you guys or whatever. So guys, this strategy real quick, I just want to kind of tell you the backstory to this real quick so you know where I'm coming from on this. It's not just something I read in a book or or copied from somebody else or something like that. This is a strategy that I kind of stumbled upon out of necessity. I had a time in my life when I wasn't doing so good. It was kind of, I call it the fall from grace, and then the rise again, because in my previous life, I was a franchisee for Domino's Pizza. I worked for that company for 22 years. It was my first of only 2 jobs. And I started, it's all I knew for the longest time. I started when I was 15 years old, answering phones. When I turned 16, I started delivering. You weren't supposed to deliver till you're 18, but the guy was understaffed, needed help, and let me deliver. So I delivered pizza till I was 18. And when I became 18, I became a manager, managed for several years, then became a supervisor, then a regional supervisor, and then decided to franchise and own my own Domino's Pizza store. I was in a partnership in Southern California with 3 stores, and then I got out of that partnership and moved up to Northern California in Roseville and opened up my own store. And the store was doing awesome. It was doing crazy awesome. I was loving life. I had the big home and the cars and all the toys, everything going on. And then as life does, it kind of throws you a curveball now and then. And I had a family member. I'm just not going to go into super detail, guys. I'm going to give you the super cliff notes here. But I had a family member get diagnosed with a terminal illness, and I made it my mission to try to save that person. And so I sold my store. I got out of that industry. I got a lot of money for it because it was doing really well. It was doing about almost $2 million a year in sales just from that one store. But what ended up happening is I went broke. I spent all the money from the sale of the store. All my savings, racked up my credit cards to about $150,000. in debt, and that was just before the recession. So most people, the recession broke them. I went into the recession broke. Okay, so it was like right after, it was boom, and then boom, the recession came in. So next thing I knew, I was at my second job I've ever had in my life, Home Depot, stocking shelves next to teenagers. In fact, my boss was a teenager. He's 19 years old. And it was in the town I had my Domino's pizza in, right? So all the people that I used to serve, were coming in there and give me those looks. Oh, poor guy. Did you hear what happened to him? That whole thing. And it was super humbling, embarrassing, humbling, all those type of emotions. But bottom line, I needed to find a way out of that, right? So that's how I ended up finding Facebook, right? So I came into Facebook, and I knew that I could use this to get somewhere. Now, it wasn't as big as it was now. It had about 700,000 people on Facebook at that time. Now it's like 2 billion, right? But I saw it as a place that, there was a lot of people there, and they're all organized into groups. There was network marketing groups and, groups for everything, right? Targeted groups where I could, go after people. So I just started experimenting, you guys. I just, started, posting, and I got my account closed down a lot of times. I got put in what's called Facebook jail. If you say, message the wrong way, they'll take away your messaging ability for however long they want, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We call it jail. And so I went through that whole process, but I finally figured it out. After 4 months on Facebook, I made my first sale with the company that I was with. And from that day to 12 months later, I made 6 figures. And I've made 6 figures every year from that point on, just from my timeline. Okay. I'm kind of lately known in this company for the guy doing Facebook ads, but I just started doing Facebook ads a couple years ago. I haven't been doing paid marketing for a long time. I used just this one strategy that I'm going to teach you. Year after year after year, made 6 figures just from my timeline. No Facebook business page, no paid ads, no nothing. So even though this is a free strategy, take it serious. All right, take it serious, because if you really dig into this and be consistent with it, it can really take you places, and really help you build your business. You can build an asset that you built a point at anything you want and make money with it. Okay. Let's see. Facebook closed my account. Love this guy. Thanks. I got to stop looking at the comments because I get distracted easily. So, let's dig into it. Let's just dive right into it. I've got the index cards here with everything I want to talk about. Now, I'm going to jump over. I'm just going to share my screen and show my timeline real quick. Okay. Let's see. All right. Now I'm assuming everybody, let me, you can't do that here. Well, I'm just going to assume everybody can see and hear me. I'm getting all the comments and you guys are responding. So guys, your timeline. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about here, all right, is just the basics, which is, having some nice photos on your timeline, right? So for instance, your profile pic, you want that to be a picture of you, all right, and preferably smiling, and if you've got kids, you and your kids, here it's pretty cool on you can do this little video. So if you've ever come to my timeline on your mobile phone, it plays a little video, and it's me and my daughter waving. It's just both of us doing this, smiling and laughing, right, and it really gets your attention. You can do something like that. And before I go any further, guys, one thing, I'm going to be showing you some personal stuff of mine, like my Facebook timeline. Don't come here and start friend requesting me because, as you can see, I'm pretty much always maxed out. The max you can have is 5,000, right? And what I do is I only delete enough to get my customers in now, so I can be friends with my customers. So I don't accept friend requests anymore. In fact, I've got over 1,000 of them here, all sitting here, in the queue. And I know it's 1,000 because you can only have 1,000 friend requests, and then Facebook tells you can't have any, they're not going to show you anymore after 1,000. So yeah, don't bother friend requesting me, guys. It's just not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to respond to it. So I have a picture here, right? Your profile picture needs to be a welcoming picture. Don't have, a picture of your cat, or your pets, a picture of your business logo. That's like the worst one you can have there. Make it a warm, friendly thing, because this is different than your business time, the business page. This is your timeline, right? And you're going to be interacting with other people's timelines, and it needs to be more personable. Same thing with your cover picture back here, preferably a picture with you and your family. This is a picture with me and my daughter in the Bahamas, swimming with the dolphins. Just something nice, welcoming. Maybe it's you and your family on a vacation, or it doesn't even have to be of your family. Maybe a quote that you really like. Just something, warm and inviting, on this page, because you don't want the red flag to go up right away that you're going to approach these people about business, right? I mean, you're going to down the road, but you don't want to just put the red flag like, okay, I'm not going to friend this person. They're definitely going to sell me at some point, right? So get that stuff off. Make sure it's warm, it's welcoming. You can do different stuff on your business page. We won't talk about that today, but that's okay over there. Over here in your personal timeline, you want to clean that up a little bit. All right. So one other thing I want to address real quick is one of the biggest questions I get. One of the biggest questions I get from people regarding Facebook marketing. A lot of people don't want their friends and family to see what they're doing, right? Because sometimes your friends and family can be your biggest critics, right? And also too, maybe you might be at a job and your boss and the employees might be friends with you, and you don't want them to know what you're doing. You don't want your boss knowing that you're trying to get out of that job. You're just trying to keep it a little bit private. So people are worried about that on Facebook. Well, I want to show you a little trick here real quick before we get going on how you can deal with that. Okay, what you can do is you come over here to your news feed, basically, right? Let's just come up. Hey, Brandon Boy, there he is. He's always on my news feed. You want to come down here to Friends List. Okay, click Friends List. All right, and you can create a list. So I have an IML list, and I have what I call professional list. Now, mainly I use my public list and my professional list, right? So what happens here is when you go to make a post on your timeline, all right, you see this little drop down here. Right now that's public. Well, I can drop that down and hit professional. And then what that means now, when I post this, only people tagged in that professional list are going to see this post. All right. So every network marketer I've ever friended, right, I tag them with professional. And whenever I make business posts, my family, my friends, they don't see any of it. When they come to my timeline, all they see is my public posts. All right. They only see what I allow them to see. All right. And all the business people only see what I allow them to see. I let the business people see my public and my professional, but my public life, my family and friends, they only see, the public stuff. All right. So it's really quick and easy to do. And, and you just don't forget, so if I made this professional and I posted it, the next post will automatically be set to professional like this, right? So if for some reason you make a public post, right, and you hit post, and then you've got a business post, you got to remember to come back and change this back to professional, right? I made that mistake early on where I had this, business post, and I posted it, and all of a sudden a relative calls me up. Well, what the heck is this? And I'm like, oh man, I forgot. I go in and change it, and you can go in and change it and edit it. So if you do tag it improperly, you can just edit the post, and change what it is. Okay, so let me go through this. All right, so I want to talk about my philosophy when it comes to this timeline, basically what you're trying to do. And I want you to imagine your timeline as if it's a TV show that you're producing, right? you're trying to produce a type of a TV show, and your audience, all your friends, are the eyeballs on this TV show. All right, and and the goal here is to post consistently and post in a way that creates engagement, right? That makes them interested, that catches their attention, so that they are, they want to stick around. They want to see what your next post is, and your next post is, and your next post is. Now, the way that we do that, I'm going to stop the share for a second. Okay, so the way that you do this, right? There's 3 type of posts that you want to be posting. Okay, now this is the stuff you want to pay attention to here. You want to do what I call a lifestyle post. All right, that's one of the kinds of posts. What's a lifestyle post? A lifestyle post, and I'll show you some examples here in a moment, but a lifestyle post is just you out living life, right? You out having lunch, you out, just random things you encounter, right? Maybe you're out with your family, maybe you're out for a walk or out for a drive, or maybe you got this cool, I like to eat sushi a lot. I take a lot of sushi pictures, and I put them up there, right? So just lifestyle pictures. And the reason why you want to do these types of posts is because it creates that know, like, and trust. It creates that connection. They're like, okay, this guy's a real person. And then they'll connect with you in other ways. Like, I have people, say, hey, I eat sushi too. Hey, I'm a single dad with a daughter too. That they'll relate to some of, the things that are going on in your life, and that builds a stronger connection. Okay. Now, the second type of post is a value post, right? You always want to give value. All right. Now, you can do this in a lot of different ways, right? You can be teaching them something, right? Maybe it's, maybe you just bought some kind of a course on something and you learned something really cool in there. You can teach that, right? And it's not also, for those of you like, well, I'm afraid to get on video, I don't want to teach. It can also be, value you find. Maybe you found a good video, right, that you thought was amazing, and you share that. Maybe you found a good blog post or an article, all right, and you share that, right? You create value. And I also consider like quotes value. Like if you do like a quote, from Tony Robbins or something like that. I consider that value as well, because people read those quotes and they're like, oh, some people, I'll drop a quote in there and I'll have people, comment to it and say, hey, thanks for dropping that quote. That's exactly what I needed to hear today, right? So that I consider value as well, right? So lifestyle, value, and then the third is business posts, right? You want to post about business. Now, there's some things I do here that are controversial. And by controversial, I mean they kind of go against what a lot of other Facebook marketers teach. But I can tell you right now, I'm more of an analytical numbers type of guy. I just follow the numbers. And these things that I do get me great numbers, all right? As you've seen with my success here, I'm in IML. And if you've been following me for a long time, the success I've had in other companies and affiliate products, this stuff just works, all right? So until you're making $10,000 a month with this strategy, just do it the way I lay it out. Okay, just do it the way I lay it out. And then if you want to test other things, try other things, go ahead and do that. All right. And I just say that because this is one of the topics that, some trainers say, oh, don't talk about business at all, But for me, business posts are kind of like, I call it like slap in the face marketing, because it gets people's attention, right? Especially if you're doing results, if you're showing results from, the business side or results from the product side, with your disclaimers. Make sure that you always put the FTC disclaimers in when you're doing any type of results, right? Very, very important for the health of this company. I can't stress that enough, okay? But it's not just results. It can be anything. So say it depends what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to recruit people on the network marketing side, right? Results might be, I got 3 leads today, right? It doesn't always have to be about money, right? It can be, I got 3 leads today, I signed up, a couple people today, or edifying other people's success, right? This is a huge thing. If someone, ranked up, you congratulate them. If someone, made their first, sale or got their first recruit, congratulate them. It's extremely important. A lot of people get this lack mindset in this area, and they think, well, if I promote them, the people are just going to go to them and sign up, and maybe that might happen once in a blue moon, but if you're doing your job, they're going to sign up with you, and plus it helps sign people up. The way I stumbled upon this one time is I wasn't doing that. I was posting all me, my results, my successes, right? And I was getting signups, I was having success. But then one day I edified somebody else and I had this whole nother breakthrough of signups. And I was like, what's going on? So I interviewed a couple of them, asked them what made them decide to sign up. And they said, look, we're watching you, Mike. And, obviously what you do works. You had a bunch of success, but I was wondering, can I do it? Like, can someone else do it? And until I showed that, they weren't ready to pull the trigger. Once I showed that, boom, they're in. Okay? So very important. Now, you want to rotate these 3 posts, and here's the reason why, okay? Because everybody is different, right? You don't know who's watching your timeline, right? There might be someone watching your timeline that's heavy into lifestyle, right? They're very emotional. They're more into the connection, right? They're more into seeing that you're a real person and getting to know you for who you are, right? And there's people that are very value oriented, right? They just want to see value, right? And then there's analytical people like me who want to see numbers, right? Like for me, to get me into a company, you can show me all the lifestyle and all of the value you want, but I'm not going to pull the trigger unless I see numbers, right? That's just that's my personality. That's how I am, right? But people are different, and there's all combinations of those 3 things, right? So there might be someone like me who wants to see numbers but won't pull the trigger until they see value, or they believe in, they really strongly believe in the lifestyle, but they won't pull the trigger unless they see results, right? And all different combinations in between. You have no clue what their makeup is, so you have to consistently post these different posts on your timeline, right? And one of them are going to trigger them somehow. Something's going to happen and it's going to trigger them. So you want to do all 3 consistently. Now, consistency is the key, guys. All right. So for example, it's not about, posting a bunch of stuff, right? It's about being consistent. So find out how much time you can spend on Facebook, right? It doesn't have to be a lot. Everything I'm going to teach you here can be done in like an hour a day. All right. And if you're really stressed for time, it can be done in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You can fit it in, right? But you're going to decide how much time you have. Can you only post once a day? Well, if that's the case, the first day post lifestyle, second day post value, the third day post business, and then rotate through. If you can do 3 posts a day, then do 1 lifestyle, 1 value, 1 business, right? And just rotate them, right? Whatever it is. Can you do twice a day? The key is consistency, right? If you gave me 2 people and one person could do like 8 hours one day, and then, next week do 10 hours, and then, 4 days later do 5 hours, and you give me a person that can do 15 minutes a day consistently, I'll take the person that can do 15 minutes a day consistently over that other person every single time. All right. Consistency is what's going to win this game here. All right. So don't put a bunch of pressure on yourself. Just figure out what time you have available to do this and just do it consistently. Okay. So let me show you some examples of posts. And before I go forward, drop a 2 in the comments right now if you've already gotten value. Wow. All right, good. Good. All right, let's share the screen here. I'm going to show you some examples of posts and talk about some posts here real quick. Oh, why is that doing in the middle of the screen? All right, let me pull up my notepad. All right, so I'm just going to go and grab some posts here and just drop them up here. And I can't remember what I picked here, so I got to wait for it to pop up to talk about it. Okay. It's kind of moving slow. All right. So this is a lifestyle, folks. This is a lifestyle pick, right? So my daughter got sick last week. She got a bladder infection. She had a temperature, so I just, took a picture of her real quick and just typed a little comment in, right? So these lifestyle picks don't have to be of you, driving a Lamborghini or, flashing watches. And that's not the lifestyle I mean, right? Matter of fact, that will turn people off faster than anything. I'm talking about real life, right? I mean, there's a reason why reality TV has been the #1 type of TV for like the last 15 years, right? Because people like reality. They like real life, right? So, don't be a faker. Don't be out there acting like you're something that you're not, right? If you get sick, talk about it, right? People get sick, all right? If you have good times, talk about it, right? If you're pissed off, talk about it, right? I mean, be real, okay? That's going to attract people faster than anything. Matter of fact, I get one of the best comments I get, and I get it nearly every week now, is people say, Mike, I follow you because you just seem like you're a real person, right? I'm going to join you because you just seem like you're a real person, right? And that's what you want, right? That's what you want to have happen. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. So that's an example of a lifestyle. What else we got here? Take a sip of water. All right, so here's another lifestyle pick. I was out at the store, and I saw this pizza. It was made out of cauliflower crust. And I've never heard of that. I was like, what? So I got the pizza, and I took it home. I cooked it, and it was actually really good. So I took a picture of it and threw it up there. Okay. So that's obviously a lifestyle post. Let's go through a few more here. Okay. All right. So here's a value post, right? It's just a quote I found. I was reading a book, and this quote was in the book. It says, "Failure is only a failure if you allow it to become a failure," right? Just a quote. Just post it in there. Really simple and easy, right? That would be considered a value post. Let's see what else we got. Here's my sushi. All right, so here's lifestyle. Right, I was out having sushi, and I took a picture of the roll there. So that is another picture that popped up. I must have hit the next button. That was me having some tacos. I love my food. I love my food. Let's see what we got here. So here, guys, here's a business post. All right, now I want you to pay attention to this. These are the most important posts out of all. Well, they're all extremely important, but this is what's going to get you the leads, right? So what I do is what's called engagement ads. Okay, I do not put links in my posts. The reason why you don't put links in your posts is because Facebook's entire goal is to make ad revenue, right? From Facebook ads. That's their whole reason for existing. And they can only do that if people stay on Facebook. So if you put a link in your post and you send people out of Facebook, they show that post to a very small percentage of your friend list, right? They won't. There's an algorithm. Some people think, oh, they just post and all your friends see it. No, it only shows to a very small percentage. Normally, without links, it shows to a small percentage. And as people engage, if people like on it, commented on it, it will show it to a few more likes and comments. It will show to a few more until eventually it goes out. But if you put a link in there, it makes your post almost invisible. Now, sometimes I'll put a link in every once in a while, like if I'm showing a blog post or something like that. Very, very few times I do it. I'd say 99% of the time, it's always no link. So you do an engagement ad, right? It's really simple. So this one here, I said, it's pretty simple. Either you want to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month residually in 2018, or you don't. If you want to see a video how I'm going to help you do this, then drop a 1 and I'll send it over, right? And you can see here, if I open this up, these are all leads, right? I mean, look at all these people dropping 1s, right? You just scroll down, one after the other, right? And then I'm just messaging all these people back. I mean, it just goes on for days, right? I mean, I just keep on scrolling, right? That's an engagement ad, guys. And I do these a lot for business. You know, I do some kind of a headline to entice them, and then tell them to drop a 1 below, and I just let the magic happen, right? And they just start dropping the 1s. Then I just message them privately behind the scenes. Another reason why I do that is because you can track, you know, who's interested, right? If you drop a link, you have no clue who looked at that link. How do you follow up, right? Well, with this, I've got a whole follow-up sheet right here in front of me, all right? All I have to do now, after I give them the link, I can go back, come here, and just go back to everybody and say, hey, what'd you think about that information? Right? I can continue to follow up with them, right? Follow up with them. So let's see. All right. Hope that makes sense. I can't see comments when I'm in share mode, so hopefully you guys understand that. But very powerful, very, very powerful. No links in your posts. Once in a while is okay, but I almost never do it. And just ask them to do something. Tell them to do something, right? Tell them to take action, right? And they'll do it. It's very cool. All right, what do we got next? All right. This webinar might go over an hour. Hope you guys don't mind. We'll see. All right, so here is an instance where I put a link in it, right? This is off to my blog, and I occasionally, for some reason, I do it with a blog. I don't know, I guess just being lazy, you know, because I do a few blog posts and, you know, having them type 1 and then going back and getting everybody over it. Just too busy these days. So this is just me being lazy once in a while, right? And that's okay to do. It's okay if you do it once in a while, but don't make it a practice, because it's not going to get, not too many people are going to see it. Yeah, not too many people are going to see it. Whoops, what am I doing? Okay. All right, so here's me, you know, this is another business post, right? I had a leadership meeting with my team. I was doing a training, you know, and I just took a snapshot of it, and you know, and I showed it to them, you know, and just posted on my wall, right? And just letting them know, you know, I'm a leader, I'm training people, right? It's letting them peek into my life, right? So more business stuff there. All right, what else we got here? All right, so here's another one. This one was crazy. All right, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is so damn hot right now of a topic out there. And I haven't done much with it, to tell you the truth, but this post right here woke me up. This is an engagement post, okay? And I just said, you know, why do I do better on Bitcoin than most? It's because most just buy Bitcoin and hope it goes up higher than they bought it at. You know, what happens if the price drops? They lose, and they lose big. I make money from Bitcoin when it goes up and when it goes down. Either way, I win. If you want to check out a video, I show you how this is possible. Drop a 1 in the comments, and I'll send it over. And I you know, I almost broke Facebook with this one, I think. I mean, I got so many results that I stopped, you know, usually I hit reply and tell them I sent it. And I just had so many happen. I did this on my business page as well, and it was just crazy. I mean, I got up and went and got a glass of water, and I came back, and there was like 60 comments on my business page. I mean, you just put Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in your post, and it just gets attention, guys. So I got a bunch of leads. I think it was like 300 leads from this one, just from the timeline. And the business page, I think, was another 300 or so. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. So that's just another business post that you can do. All right. All right, lifestyle, obviously, right? As my daughter and I were out doing some Christmas shopping at the big mall around here. They had the lights and the trees and all that stuff. So I took a couple pictures there and posted it. And it's just letting them into my life, right? They see me. I'm a father. I've got a daughter. I'm out Christmas shopping with her, right? It just builds that connection with them. All right, so this is a business post, right? This is when Christopher Terry kind of gave us a little bit info on the crypto a month or so ago. You know, this was the picture that they gave us, and I think I just copied all this right from Brandon Boyd. He just did a post, and I just snagged the identical post and threw it in here. All right, and this is obviously a business post. Again, it creates curiosity. I may redo that one now that things have even gotten crazier. I may recycle that picture. Again, here's another thing. I did a training. I have a couple big teams in Poland, and this is one of the teams. I was doing a training for them, and I just, after I was done, I just did a quick post. So people, again, they see I'm a leader. They see I'm working internationally. So if there's international people on my timeline that are thinking, I don't know, he's in the U.S. They're going to say, wow, look at all these people he's working with in Poland, and they're going to reach out to me, right? So let's see, I just got a couple more here. I just want to make sure you guys have a clear picture of all this. So here's me edifying someone, right? You guys all know Gary McSween, I would hope. This guy is an offline dynamite, and I was just so impressed by him, and this picture just blew me away. I mean, being an introvert type of a guy, this right here scares the shit out of me, right? Doing something like this just scares the crap out of me. And just to see that, and he closes, I mean, it was like 75, 80% of that room got closed. And this is an amazing thing to me, right? And so I wanted to just edify him, right? So I just got on my timeline and I just talked about him, talked about his success, and so that's just edifying people. You always want to do that, guys. Edify, edify, edify people. It's just, I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can do. It'll come back to you tenfold. It'll come back to you tenfold. All right, we got the last couple ones here. All right, so here's like a combination lifestyle and business post, right? Because I was out with my daughter, we went to the movies, we're flying, I have a drone, I was flying that, we're shopping, and I was actually, shopping, and I looked at my phone, and this is what I saw, right? I mean, how cool is that, right? All these notifications from IML, money transfer from Paylucia, right? It was like the perfect screenshot. Like, so when I saw it, I was like, whoa, and I took a snapshot of it and immediately posted it, right? So that's a business post. Oops. Let's see here. All right, and this is the last one. This is a value post. For about 30 days, I did a thing where every day I posted what I call a marketing secret, or the secrets of successful marketers. So, and this one was, think big, and it was just a post, saying, you need to think big. You need to think bigger than whatever your goal is. Think bigger, right? You want to be chairman 10, then go for chairman 25. You want to be chairman 25, go for chairman 50, right? Just always push it a little bit further. I've got I want to be chairman 50, but everywhere, I don't know if you can even see this. On my phone, I've got a little thing that says chairman 100 on my phone, right? I'm chairman 25. I want to be chairman 50. So guess what? My goal is chairman 100, right? So that's what I was teaching in this post right there. All right, let me come out here, take a sip of water. So guys, was that of any value there? I mean, did you learn anything from the posts, from that stuff? Yes. Awesome. Great stuff. Cool. Well, guys, we're only like a quarter of the way through. So I guess another thing I need to ask is, do you guys mind if this goes over by, say, half an hour? Are you okay if this goes like an hour and a half? Everybody's like, go ahead. Yeah, certainly, no problem. Fine, cool. All right, cool. All right, I'm just going to do one thing real quick. All right, I just took a snapshot of all this awesomeness because this is going to be a post, right? This is going to be a post when I get done. So, all right, so let's move on. Yes, there will be a recording, guys. There'll be a recording. I'm not sure how it'll be distributed to you, but this is being recorded. All right, so let me check off my little index card here because I don't want to miss anything. We got this, and we showed you the post. Okay, so that's that's what you need to do there as far as posting. Okay, there is a next element to this. Now that part right there that I showed you, I did just that for a couple of years, for like 2 or 3 years, just that, and got to 6 figures. Okay, when I added this next element, this next layer to it, it took my business through the roof, guys. It was awesome. And then this is one of the controversial pieces. This is another controversial piece that you'll hear about, but I'll explain, why I do it the way I do it. So the next step, guys, is inboxing, right? Inboxing people, right? So the posting is more of an attraction marketing type of a situation, right? You're just putting your stuff out there and you're waiting for people to come to you, and it works really well. And a couple more things. I just got a couple things that I wanted to remind you about the timeline. Don't judge your posts by the likes and the comments that they get. Most people are lurkers. Most people just watch. Most people do not engage, right? So don't judge your success by the engagement, right? Facebook is kind of a thing where you got to have a little bit of faith for a little bit, right? Because most people just watch, and they'll watch, and they'll watch, and they'll watch until they can't take it anymore. And they'll say, I've been watching you for a long time. I just can't take it anymore. Give me your link, right? And they'll get the link. So don't worry about that, guys, okay? All right, sorry. Just got to take a sip of water there. Okay, inboxing. So what I do is I inbox 30 of my friends per day, okay? And I use a specific script. The way you were probably trained in the past, or if you bought guru courses, most of the gurus out there preach a conversational kind of way of inboxing, where you inbox people and you say, hey, how's it going? All right. And they come back and say, good, how are you? Right. You guys go back and forth for, could be, days sometimes before you get to, talking about your business. And that's what I did for a long time, until one day I read a book called Go for the Nose. Okay. And in this book, there was a story about a life insurance company that the way they sold life insurance is they knocked on doors, right? They went door to door. So the reps, they all had, regions that they were assigned. They went around and, knocked on doors, and anyone that opened the door, they just had a conversation with them, right? Went into their pitch, and they were just having the worst time. They couldn't make any sales. They were going bankrupt. So they brought in a consultant, and the consultant said, look, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do the same exact thing that you always do, except for when you go to the door and you knock on the door and the person answers, all I want you to say is this. Just say, you don't need life insurance, do you? Right? And if they say no, then you just thank them for their time and you walk away. If they say yes, yeah, I do need life insurance, then you go into the conversation, then go into the pitch. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this all wrong, right? Because with Facebook, I was trying to have conversations with everybody. So it's not that I don't have conversations. I just don't have them with people unless I know that they're interested. So what I did is I developed a script, okay? Now, I'm just going to generally talk about the script. You guys are going to have to do the work and create your own, because if I show you my script, what people tend to do is copy it. and that creates a footprint on Facebook, and then everybody gets banned, right? I'm going to tell you the elements of the script, and they're really easy to create. Everybody's like, go for nose, go for nose. Yeah, go for the nose. No, it's not for the nose, but for the nose, no. Right? So I developed a script, and this is basically how the script went, okay? It's really what's important of the script is the first part that I'm going to talk about and the last part. So the beginning of the script would say something like this. It would say, look, if you're focused 100% on a business already, then ignore the rest of this message. All right, that's the first sentence. The middle part is just me kind of being excited, just saying, but if you're interested, I'm super excited about this project I'm working on. I'm having a lot of success. The people I'm plugging in are having a lot of success. The products are phenomenal. And here's the important last part. Do I have your permission to send you some information? Right? Very important. Do I have your permission to send you some information? Okay? And it's a script that I copy and paste right into the inbox, and I just change their name, right? I make it personal, so I might say like, hey, Frank, or hey, John, right? And, so I put their name in there, I copy and paste it in, put their name in there, I hit send. All right? And I do 30 a day, and why do I do 30 a day? Because that seems to be the limit to keep you out of Facebook jail, right? If you abuse the messenger, they'll take away your access to Messenger for, it's like a random amount of time, whatever they decide. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's days, sometimes it's a couple months. It really depends on Facebook, how they're feeling. So, but I also split that up over the day. So I don't do 30 at once, right? I typically do 15 in the morning and then 15 at night. Okay? And you just drop it. You just drop the script, right? And you'll get a bunch of different responses, right? They're either going to say, yeah, I am interested in looking at a business, right? Just like the insurance company. Yeah, I do need life insurance, right? And if they do, then boom, I know they're interested. Now I can start having a conversation with them, right? So that's going to be one of the responses. Or they're not going to respond at all. Or they're going to respond and say, you know what? No, I'm not interested. I've got something else I'm interested in. Or they'll just say they're not interested, right? So this gets you to the people that are interested right away. You're not messing around with the people that were never interested, that already have businesses, right? You don't have to mess with any of them. Now, there's a second thing that this does, and it's really probably the more important thing, and why it works in conjunction with the timeline stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but when you have a conversation with someone in Messenger, it triggers the algorithm, and they see more of your stuff in their timeline because of that conversation. So even the people that say no, right? So, because a lot of people knee-jerk reaction is no, right? So if they come back and say no, I'll write something back because I just want to create a little teeny conversation, right? So I dropped my script. They replied no. I'll write back and say, hey, thanks a lot for reading my message. I wish you massive success with whatever it is that you're doing, and have a great day, and I'll send it. And sometimes their response back, and thank you, same to you. And that little conversation right there is going to allow them to see more of your stuff in their timeline. And as you know, well, you may or may not know, but network marketers traditionally, before IML has kind of changed the game, but in network marketing, it's a high failure rate, right? So there's a good chance that person that said no is going to be struggling at some point in their business. If they're not already struggling, they're probably already struggling and just lied to you, right? But now because of that little conversation, they're going to start seeing your timeline. And if you're consistently posting all those posts that I told you about, right? Eventually those people will come back and say, you know what? It looks like you're doing some really cool stuff. Can I get your link? Can I get more information? Right? So they work synergistically together, right? And that's really the whole idea, is just to get as many people as possible watching your posts, right? In the end, that's what it's all about, okay? Is just getting people watching your posts in their timeline. And this inboxing is an element to that. A lot of people think the element is to make the sale. I did 30 today and I didn't make a sale. It has nothing to do with that. All you're doing is trying to trigger that algorithm. you know? And of course, some people will say yes, some people look at your stuff, and some people will join. You know, it does happen that fast sometimes. But most of the time, people need 7 to 12 touches, right, is the average. They need to see your stuff 7 to 12, 10 to 12 times before they're going to pull the trigger, right? So that's just one of those touches. That inbox is just one of those touches, right? And they're going to see your stuff. Hopefully they'll start liking and commenting. And that's when you can see it. And it's beautiful to watch sometimes. You know, you'll have someone say no. And like 3 weeks later, all of a sudden you'll see they liked a post. You know, and then like a few days later, they've liked a few more. You know, and then they comment on one. And that's when I know I can almost time it when they're going to reach out to me for my link, when I start seeing that stuff happen, right? And it happens all the time. Let's see here. So 30 a day, break it up, you know, try to break it up. I do 15 and 15. You can break it up, you know, throughout the day, you know, do some in the morning, some in the day, some at night, but try to break it up because you don't want to, you know, you don't want to leave a footprint for Facebook. All right. And you just, if you go beyond that, 40, 50, it works for a little bit, but then all of a sudden, boom, they slam the hammer down and you're done, right? And believe me, with 30 a day, you can do some damage. You can do some damage. Let's see. Okay, so follow-up. So when you're messaging 30 people a day, follow-up can get crazy, right? Trying to keep track of everybody and where they are. And I've got a simple solution for it, guys. Sorry, I'm getting this indigestion here. All this talking I'm doing. So what I do, as you can see, notepads are like my favorite app. I use notepads like crazy. So what I do, all right, you guys can't see it because I'm not sharing my screen. Gotta share my screen real quick. All right, now I'm sharing my screen. All right, so this is what I was saying. You can see the notepads, and you can see this, you know, if you see this price back here. A couple nights ago, I went on the Harley-Davidson website and created the perfect Harley-Davidson bike for me, and I'm posted it, you know, I got it on my desktop here until I buy it, which will happen next year. It's winter right now, rain, I don't want to get it. So that was a bit of absolutely useless information for you. So keeping track, you know, following up with your messages. All right, so let me go over to Messenger real quick. All right, really simple solution. I've been doing this for years and it works perfect. Okay, so what some people don't know, all right, is that when you're talking to someone, right, like say if you're clicking on somebody's name, this URL up here is a direct link to this conversation. All right, so I go ahead and I drop that script, and anyone that replies back and says, hey, I want more information, and I drop my link, I go ahead and I copy and paste this up here, and I just throw it on my notepad, right? And this is my follow-up list. And I create this list of names, and every 2 or 3 days I'll come back, you know, so say if I'm, you know, say if Pete now is lost, right? He's just completely lost, he's gone. You know, I've got so many messages I can't find him, right? I come back and I just go through my follow-up list. I just come back here, I just grab it, I just go up here and I paste, hit enter, and it takes me directly to this conversation. All right? So it's a really simple and easy way to follow up. And then what I do with this, let's see this here. What I do with this is, you know, this grows and grows and grows, but it shrinks and grows, right? So if someone joins me, I delete them off. If someone says no, by the way, I follow up with people until they either join or they tell me to stop messaging them. All right? Those are the only two things I accept. They either join or they tell me to stop messaging them. If they tell me to stop messaging them, I delete them off this and I don't contact them again. All right? And I'd say like every 2 or 3 days, I just go through this follow-up list. You know, I usually start with the newest people. And it's really simple and easy, and it'll keep you organized, right? Because the worst thing that can happen is get unorganized, and you forget people, and you forget to follow up, and other people are asking for more information. You can't find them, and it's a nightmare, guys. Just keep. Some people like to use Excel spreadsheet and all that. I love the notepads. You know, this on PC. There's Notepad. This is Mac. You know, it's called Text Edit. Really simple, low tech, and it gets the job done. Okay. Let me stop the share. Come back out here. Sanchez says, I'm loving this. Wow. That's not useless information. It was lifestyle. Yeah, true. Let me make sure. Inboxing, 30 a day, algorithm, follow up, download. Okay. All right. So that's the inboxing stuff, guys. So how many of you guys, did you guys learn anything in that segment? Now, was that valuable? You got a yes. All right. Awesome. Wow. We still got a lot of people on here. It's amazing. Can't believe it. Well, there's 600 people. All right, great. So, all right, real quick, this has to do with inboxing a little bit. How many of you would like to know how to get, now you're going to need to have like a blog or something, but how would you like to know how I get 1 to 3 leads every single day without question? Looks like everybody. All right, so here's a really simple thing, guys, and you're going to laugh when you see it because it's so simple. When people see this, they're like, why didn't I think of this? All right, and you might have saw it actually. One of the messages had it on there if you were paying attention. I'm going to share my screen again here. And those of you guys asking a bunch of questions, guys, if you weren't at the very beginning, I'm really not going to answer a lot of questions on this webinar. Next webinar is going to be a question and answer webinar. So if you think I'm ignoring you, you guys are raising your hands and stuff, well, I am ignoring you. but I'm going to answer your questions on the next webinar, you know, because I don't want this to be, you know, a 10-hour webinar here. So, all right, so this is the deal, guys. So check this out. Let's how do I want to do this here? How do I want to do this? All right, this is what I do. So here's how to get 1 to 3 leads a day easily. Ask Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. Michael Angel Martin is a beast. Thank you, buddy. So on your timeline, right, when you come to your timeline, right, you come down here and you've got birthdays, right? So this is what I've done, all right? Over on my blog, let me show you this page. Oh, come on. I should have had this up. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. I'll do a couple right here in front of you so you can see it all happen. I got to shut this off, though. Okay. You done? All right. I need to grab this link. All right. So this is what I do, guys. All right. And I'll tell you the method to my madness here. All right. So I come over here, and this happens to be my cousin. I forgot it was her birthday today, so I won't be doing it with her. But all right, some of these guys I'm not going to do it to. But so what I do is I just come here and I click on these people's names, you know, and open up a tab for each of them. Right. All right. Let's see. Go here. These are all their birthdays, right? So then I come over to their page. All right. And I hit message. Sorry, this is running slow. Oh boy, I have to plug in my computer here in a second. Everything's running really slow here because I got all these tabs open and doing the recording. All right, so what I do is the first thing I do is there's a little sticker here. If I bring it up, I use it a lot, so it's usually at the top right here. This little happy birthday sticker. I drop that in there, and then I just drop my link in there. Now, this is the only time you're going to be able to drop a link and not be called a spammer. Actually, people are going to thank you for this, right? So I just drop that in there like that. And actually, I don't need to show you 100 times. I don't know why I opened up all those tabs, but I'm just going to close them all. Once is enough. Right? So what happens now, they're going to see this. They're going to love it. It's their birthday. And my link says happy birthday at the end of it, right? And it says here, happy birthday, right? It says happy birthday everywhere. So they're obviously going to click on this. Right? They click on it. They land on this page, and there's nothing here but a happy birthday video, right? This video just, it's these 3 little things that look very similar to that little guy right here, right? And they sing, it's just a little funny thing. They sing happy birthday, right? But guess what? They're on my blog, right? And the Work With Me tab, that takes them down into my IML stuff, right? And plus there's a bunch of other things on here, other ways for them to get in. This consistently, just this one thing, doing this every day gets me 1 to 3 leads, just this, right? Another higher level thing that happens, and we're going to talk about this on other webinars, is when they land here, they get cookied or pixeled through Facebook, and my paid ads follow them around everywhere, right? So they've landed here, they may have checked me out, they may have looked things over, they get to know me a little bit better, and now they start seeing my posts everywhere, which are just ads, all right? How many of you guys think that tip there was just worth the webinar by itself? Yeah. I do paid ads. I saw that scroll by before everything came through. I do paid ads, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. This strategy here, guys, I use this strategy by itself halfway to Chairman 10. So this strategy got me the inboxing, the posting, got me to Platinum 5,000 and halfway to Chairman 10. And then at halfway to Chairman 10, I started doing some paid ads, very little. And then this strategy combined with the little bit of paid ads I was doing got me to Chairman 10. And then when I got to Chairman 10, I just moved strictly to paid ads. So this strategy here, guys, like I said at the beginning, do not take this lightly. All right, this is very, very, very powerful strategy. Okay. All right, so that is the happy birthday thing. All right, so yeah, guys, use that on your blog. I mean, it works amazingly well. Amazingly well, and it's a good way to build a connection with people. It's a way to get them to your website, get them to your blog, you know, and they start looking around. And I'm telling you, every day I do it, I get 1 to 3 leads, easy. You know, it's an awesome conversion rate, you know, on what's going on there. Okay. All right, so just 1 second, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to pause my video. I need to get my charger from my computer and plug it in because it's running out of juice, and I need to refill my glass of water. It'll take like a second. We got one more piece to talk about, and that's building a network, right? What's good? What good is all this stuff if you don't have a network to do it to, right? You need to know how to build a network, you know? So that's what we're going to talk about next, and that's how we'll end it, and we'll call it a night, okay? So go for a, you know, bathroom break or whatever. It's not going to take me long. It's going to take me like maybe 2 minutes to do all this, all right? So just give me a second, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm juiced. I've got juice coming to the computer. We're not going to lose it. How much time to take you to get to Chairman 10 doing this strategy? I got to Chairman 10, I want to say like 3 months, I think. Don't quote me on that, somewhere around there. I got to Platinum 5,000 in 30 days, less than 30 days. It was about 3 weeks. And then it took me a couple of months, I think, to get to Chairman 10. And then it took me a little bit longer to get to Chairman 25. I've been in the company 10 months now. and Chairman 10, I think a month ago. I'm sorry, Chairman 25 a month ago or so. So, where'd you get the happy video? See, I'm getting distracted. This is what happens, guy. I get distracted so easily. But I'll answer this one question because I just saw it come by. Where did I get the happy birthday video from? Just go to YouTube, man. Just type in happy birthday, and you'll have like 10,000 happy birthday videos come up. And I just, got it from YouTube. Just put it on there. So that was that. All right. So the next thing. But you already have a huge network before that, right? Yeah. So that's a good point that Pablo brought up is, I already had the network, right? So I don't want you guys to think that you're going to come in here with, 50 friends in your network, and go to platinum, 5,000 in the blink of an eye. That's not going to happen, right? If you're someone that has a good sized network, you could start seeing some success pretty quick. But with this strategy, it takes time to get the machine rolling, right? It takes time to build momentum. But it's so worth it, guys, right? You can do it while you're doing your other things, right? In fact, it'll work in conjunction with you offliners. I know a lot of you like to do, the hotel meetings and the home meetings and the events and things like that. Use that to build your network, on your business cards or whatever, put your Facebook profile on there, and send people there, right? And just tell them, look, when you're at your home meeting or you're at your hotel event, say, look, friend me on Facebook. I'll keep you updated on things. I'll keep you plugged into what's going on, blah, 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 and get them locked in there, right? But I'm telling you, once you build this, you have a powerful weapon that you can use to do anything. I mean, I always, when I, get into businesses, I usually go to 10,000 a month in record time. Even affiliate products. Like sometimes I'll sell an affiliate product, and I'll just use, I'll just use the power of what I have to get on leaderboards and to win contests. It just happened. I just did affiliate launch, and I came in second place. Selling a product on how to get leads off of LinkedIn. And, I won an award and, second place and all the commissions that came from it, right? So you can use it for anything, right? But it's a powerful asset, but you have to build it and you have to have patience. Now, there's going to be a time when it gets easier. When you get to, 2,000 people, 2,500 people, it's going to kind of start building itself. And this next part you won't have to do. All right, this next part I'm going to go after you won't have to do. But if you are like me, when I started on Facebook, I had 35 friends. It was 35, and that was a combination of my Home Depot, coworkers, and my family, right? And so I had to do this work, guys. I had to do what I'm telling you to do, and I'm telling you right now, it was the best thing I ever did. I went 4 months before I made my first sale, right? Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you because I didn't have me at the time, right? I didn't have this knowledge. I didn't have this experience at the time. I fumbled around. I got my account closed down. I got put in Facebook jail a bazillion times, right? But I had faith in the process, right? I knew that this was going to work because, just because the way Facebook was designed. And I stayed in it, 4 months, making no sales, posting every day, right? How many people would do that? Most people these days would post for like 2 weeks and go, oh, Mike, this strategy, it's a scam. Mike scammed me, and it's just, if that's your mindset, then you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. This is a long-term game. And once you have it, it's going to do amazing things for you, right? And you want to work your way to paid ads, all right? This is just a strategy because I know most people don't have an ad budget. Most people are not in a position to do that type of stuff. And this can change your life. It did for me. It did for me. So just keep that long-term mindset and just know people are watching, right? Even when they're not clicking and liking and commenting, they're watching. People can see what you're putting out there, right? And just remember that. all right, and just have faith in that. All right, so let's see. Lost my card. Here it is. All right. So building the network. You need to build a network. All right. Now this is the down and dirty stuff. This is the not so fun stuff that you need to do to build your network. All right. I'm just going to go over a few things, and then after that, I'm going to end it by just talking about kind of like a daily plan. You know what I did. You know what I would do if I was you moving forward with this strategy, and we'll end it there. Okay. All right. More water. Okay. So building a network. This is pretty simple stuff, but it's, this is the most boring stuff. So if you guys fall asleep on me, I understand why. All right. Let's see here. I'll close that. All right. So this is how you do it, guys. It's pretty simple stuff, right? You come up here, right? And you want to do a search. Now, when you're the best niche to focus on Facebook is the network marketing niche. And it's perfect for our business for two reasons. One, we've got like a 1-2 punch with what we've got, right? Because you can make money with whatever, with both things we have. You can make money with the products, you can make money with the business. So you can approach people on the business, or you can approach them on the products, right? If you want to approach them on the business, side, you're going to talk about the business and all the cool stuff there. If you're going to sell the products, talk about all the pain points a network marketer has, right? So say, man, are you sick of recruiting? You're sick of, trying to sell stuff. You're sick of doing this stuff. Well, I tell you what, I've got this cool thing you can take a look at. We have to do no recruiting, no selling, right? And what I always add in there, because you always want to try to say things that are in people's minds before they say it. And one of the things that people say that, goes in their minds when you start saying something like that is that, well, if there's no recruiting and selling, why are you recruiting and selling me on this, right? So this is what I say. I say, look, I've got this thing, no recruiting, no selling. You can use the products to make money. And then I say, but if you have network marketing in your blood, like I do, then you're going to want to do the business side too. But if you don't, you can make enough money just being a customer. So I always add that in there, right? And it just creates more confidence and more of a connection when you're saying what's already in their head, all right? And guarantee you that's one of the things they're going to say when you pitch the product side. So this is the best group of people to approach, right? Because they want to make money from home, right? They understand network marketing is the way to go, right? Because if you're pitching someone cold off the street, you first have to convince them that network marketing is a good model to follow. And then if you can do that, then you got to convince them why your business is the best one out of all of them. With network marketers, you don't need to convince them of that first part. They already love MLM or network marketing, or they at least, want to try to figure it out, and they like it, and they think it's a way to get free. So you can go right to business, right? Talking about your business or the products. So what's cool about Facebook is they've got a bazillion groups, all right? And you can search them. So, let's just type in MLM, right? You just come up here in the search bar, type MLM, all right? And you want to come over here to the top and just hit groups, all right? And you're going to find, guys, just loads and loads of groups, and they've all got, look at this, 28,000 people, 59,000 people, right? 34,000. And when you get in here, all right, what you want to do, I'm just going to go in one that I'm in already. Let's say this one I've been in for 3 years. Actually, let's do this one. I'm not joined up to that one. All right, let's do that one. All right. Crack my neck there. Click. What happened there? All right. So a couple things you can do in here. All right. First thing is don't post in groups. All right. Don't post in groups. This is not like a posting in group lesson here. Do not post in groups. This doesn't work. All right. People do it, and I don't understand why they do it. Everybody in here is selling, right? No one's buying. But one thing you do know about these groups is that these are all newbies, right? They're newbies. Why? Because they're posting in groups, right? They don't know what they're doing. and they're starving for someone to reach out to them, right? So one thing I like to do is I'll just come down and I'll look at the post. Well, this one's old. This is all old stuff in here. There's nothing new in here. So this is not a good one. All right, let me pick a different one because that one's like a dead group. Let's try this one here. Come on. All right. Oh, there we go. So just moving super slow. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, at least it's this month. This is a pin post. All right, so let's move down past the pin post. Yeah, so we got people posting here right now, 20 minutes. So this is an active group, right? So this is what I do. I come in here and this guy's unlimited traffic for life, absolutely free. See, this stuff is so funny. You read some of this stuff, it's such a bunch of crap. We guarantee good results or your money back, right? It's absolutely free, but you're going to get your money back. Right? This stuff is just worst copy ever on the planet. Right? So anyways, the bottom line is they just don't know. They're not educated, right? So we can teach them the right way. So all I do is I just come in and I like it. And I might say, I don't know, just something. Is the traffic any good? Right, and that's it. Now, you're going to notice that on almost all these posts, I'm the only one that's liking or commenting, right? Because nobody does this stuff, guys, right? But this is the down and dirty stuff that you got to do. And basically what's going to happen, right, is some of these people are going to go, holy cow, I got a fish on the line. Hey, I've been doing this group thing forever. I got somebody, and they're going to reach out to you. And a lot of times they're going to friend you and inbox you. And the whole idea, again, is just to get them as a friend. Right, so maybe they pitch you their thing, and you just come back and say, "Hey, look, it looks like a really cool thing, but it's not what I'm looking for. But you know what? Let's just stay friends, and who knows down the road? Who knows if my situation will change down the road?" And boom, you've got another set of eyeballs watching your timeline, watching your proof, watching your business, watching all your stuff. So you just go through, and this stuff you can do as much of this as you want. So whenever you have time, you'll never get banned from doing this, right? So you can, any free downtime you have on your break or whatever, you just come in and do you like to earn Bitcoins for Facebook likes? What? Unique PTC, got tones. Oh my God, this stuff is so horrible. Earning, amazing payouts. Oh geez, this stuff is so bad. I feel sorry for these people sometimes. It's just like, oh my gosh. I don't even know what to write on this one. I'll just write this. I'll just say interesting. Interesting. Not. But so anyways, you just go through and do that, guys. And I'm telling you, look, there's nobody else, commenting, even the older ones, 4 hours, 3 hours, right? No one. So these guys just, they go nuts. They're like, oh my gosh, right? Unless the only time I don't comment on them. Let's see if I can find one in here. If I don't, I'll just explain it. You guys have probably seen it before. Right here, right? When they have some kind of name here, like this one's Easy Post, this guy has automated posting in groups. He's using some kind of software, and these people don't check their posts. They don't care at all about people commenting, liking. They're just trying to get the people to click on their links. Only comment on the ones that are personally posted by people that do it themselves. These are the low-hanging fruit. These are the people that I post in the group and they check in the group like every 10 minutes to see if someone interacted with it, right? So just go and like and comment, interact, have conversations, and that's gonna create likes. The other thing you can do, and this goes to kind of the inboxing. If you come over here to the members, right? Over here, you're going to see the member number. That's got 80,000 members in here. You click on that as it slowly moves over. All right. So as you roll down, you're going to see members with things in common, right? So this is a really good section because this means you guys have mutual friends, right? And Facebook is a little bit easier on you messaging people that are connected to other people that are your friends with, all right? So you can click this open to see more. And I wish I didn't click that. Right when I clicked it, I was like, ugh, I got to wait another 15 minutes. Let's see. All right. So now the thing to keep in mind is because this is inboxing, you got to remember that you don't want to do more than 30 a day. That includes the other stuff, right? So maybe if you want to take one day and devote it to building your network, maybe you don't do inboxing for the other inboxing that I was talking about, or maybe you do just 15 of them and come here and do 15 of these, right? You're going to have to mix it up because you can't do 30 of that and 30 of this. That's 60 messages a day. You're going to get screwed, right? So basically, this is what I do, right? I come over and I click on their profile, all right? And I open it up. And first I check and look to see if they're active, right? This guy posted yesterday, right? So this guy's active, all right? The only problem with this one is that he posts with automatic software, right? He posts on Twitter, and Twitter feeds into his Facebook, right? So he's probably not monitoring this at all, right? So this is one I would probably pass, all right? But I'm gonna stay here anyways and just show you what I would do. But when you see some type of a name here, and that's an indication it's automation, and you're just going to be wasting your time. I guarantee you this guy probably hasn't looked at this page, in months, But let's say, this is my daughter. Okay, let's say that this is a valid profile. Say he's been posting and he's posting manually. So what I just do, come in here and just the same thing I did in the groups. I'll just like one or two of the posts real quick. Xbox One. I don't know. Crazy. He ain't gonna look at this anyways, I can tell you. And I'll just do it to a couple posts, and then I'll message him, right? I'll just open up the messenger, and I'll just tell you what I'll do because this is going to take too long clicking on this stuff. So I just quickly send him a message and say, hey, I noticed that we're in the same group, and you just type in the name of the group. You say, hey, I noticed we're in the same group together. I'm looking to connect with people in network marketing, people in the niche, not like-minded people. Choose how you want to say it. Would you mind if I send you a friend request? Now here's a tip right here that you need to remember. Don't just send a friend request. Send them a message first asking them if you can send a friend request. And here's the reason why. Facebook, one of the ways they're going to catch on to you that you're a business is if you randomly send friend requests out to people, because the reason they're going to know that you're doing a business is because, typically if you find an actual friend on Facebook and you send them a friend request, they accept that request in a timely manner. When you send a friend request to a stranger, they're not going to accept it, right? So what ends up happening is you collect these a bunch of pending friend requests, and then eventually Facebook will come in and say, "Hey, bud, you're up to something here. You've got way too many pending friend requests. Delete some of them." Right? So you want to ask the person first. Say, "Is it okay if I send you a friend request?" All right? Don't just friend request them. And then they'll come back. They'll either ignore you, they'll come back and say no, or they'll say, "Yeah, sure." Then immediately send the friend request and then send another message and said, "I just sent the friend request. Can you please accept it?" And then they'll accept it. So in Facebook eyes, that whole transaction, right, in Facebook's eyes, they were one of your friends. Right? I hope that makes sense. So that's a little tip there. All right, so that's another way to get friends. And again, what happens is, right, you had that conversation with them, so they're going to start seeing you in the timeline, and hopefully they accepted the friend request, and they actually become a friend so they can see the timeline. Now, the other thing you can do is just on your Facebook wall, right, interact with the posts on your wall. Here's somebody watching the webinar that we're on. This is one of my team members, Chris Garcia, right? So it's kind of weird seeing me, seeing someone seeing me. It's weird. Anyways, so just come through here, right, and on your own timeline, and just like, and just comment. So very cool. I don't know. Try to do something more intelligent. I'm just kind of trying to get through this, right? So what's going to happen is, and especially if Chris starts talking, communicating back to me, people are going to see that and go, oh, wow, he's talking to this guy, Michael Angel Martin. I wonder what's going on there. So they'll click on my profile, they'll come check me out, and, hopefully send me a friend request, right? And as you can see, I get a lot of friend requests. I'm sure I got a lot of them from this webinar recently. But I have thousands of friend requests, at least 1,000 that I know of. So just go through. You can ignore the sponsored paid ads. Just go through people that, that are doing stuff, and just comment and post, right? There's Kevin again commenting, right? So you like this, and around just pops up at your house without knowing when he's coming. So I guess Jason is with Kevin right now. I don't know if they're watching or not, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Whoop, where am I? That's awesome. Oh, dang it. Tell Jason I said hi. All right? So now people on Kevin's timeline are going to see that and may or may not send me a friend request. I don't know, right? I do know over time, as you do this, it works really, really well. These are just the little things you can do. And again, you can do this as much as you want, and you're not going to get banned, or thrown in Facebook jail. You're out there, and just really try to create good conversations. Read the posts and try to respond, intelligently back, to the posts, right? And just create that conversation, and people are going to see that and want to friend you. All right. Let me see here. Where's my card? Reaching out to groups, going to friends and like and comment. All right, guys. That's basically the way. I mean, there's other ways you can do it. One of the ways, like I said, you guys that like to do the offline stuff, send your offline people to your Facebook page. Build that up. Put it on your business card and tell them, look, go to my Facebook timeline. I'm going to keep you up to date. I'm going to be posting about my business, and and I can message you, and you can ask me questions. When you've got any questions, you can ask the questions. You give them, all these reasons to connect with you, right? And doing that stuff daily helps. Now, speaking of that, what's this say? Nice one, great tool. Thank you very much. The down and dirty network marketing is what you would have to do in the physical room. Nice, yeah. So it's basically taking the old school model and bringing it on the internet. And wait till you see how I integrate groups, creating groups into this. And it has nothing to do with what I just showed you. It's not about that. It's really the most powerful part of what I do. It's my conversion mechanism for my whole Facebook system. And I'm going to show that to you next Friday. Now, real quick, just to call this a night, the daily plan of action. Okay? So basically, it's really simple, guys. It doesn't take a lot to do this because you're limited, right? You can't do a lot. If you do a lot, you're going to get banned, right? So when it comes down to, there's 3 things that you need to be doing if you don't have a big network. First thing is you got to post daily, right? That takes just a few minutes. Even if you're going to do 3 posts a day, only takes a few minutes to do it. And if you want to make it even quicker, before you go to bed at night, maybe 15 minutes before you go to bed, sit down and write out what you're going to do for posts the next day. So when it comes down to posting it, you just, post it. You don't have to sit there and figure it out, right? But if you do sit there and figure it out, it still doesn't take that long, guys. It takes minutes. Literally, it should take about 10 minutes for the entire day to post your 3 posts, right? The second thing is you want to inbox daily. This, again, goes pretty quick. At the beginning, too, it's a lot quicker because you don't have a whole bunch of people to follow up with yet, right? But to do 15 inboxes will take you, less than, I timed it one time for a training that I did. I showed them, I just turned the camera on. I just started doing my inboxing. and I set a timer, and it took me 9 minutes to do the 15, but I was like talking to them and explaining stuff, and people were replying back. But it's really quick, guys. We'll probably say another 10 minutes to get that copy and paste done, and then who knows, additional, people will reply back. You get them information. They're going to ask questions, right? That's going to add time, but that's at random points throughout the day, right? You'll just get a message anytime during the day, and you just get back to them when you can. And then as you start doing it, you're going to, build that list, and then you're going to start following up with people. That's going to add some additional time. All right. So those are the 3 things you need to do. You need to post daily, you need to inbox daily, and you need to build your network daily. All right. And just decide how much time you have, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and just do it every single day. All right. Every single day. All right. What did, let's see here. I'm going to read, let's see. How many people have I sponsored with this method? I don't even know. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I mean, if you take all the things I've done, it's probably in the thousands. I don't know how many I've personally sponsored in IML. It's a lot. I've got the record. I'm the number one, according to Jason, I'm the number one personal sponsor person. I'm sure I said that wrong. I sponsor the most people personally in the company. I sign up about 60 to 80 customers a month. So you do the math. Over 10 months? I don't know. It's a lot. So guys, that's about it. So, did you guys get value from this? Was this a good webinar? Do you want me to keep doing them, or should I just stop and that's that? You guys want to see the next one? Yes, keep doing them. Keep doing them. Awesome. Awesome. Spelling so fast, I can't even. Lots of value. Good, good. I'm glad. I'm happy. I wanted to get you guys some tools, some additional tools going into 2018. I want 2018 to be the best year for every one of you. And you've got the right platform here, right? I've been doing this make money from home stuff for well over 10 years. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I've never seen anything like this before, right? You guys are in the right place at the right time. So don't give up. You're going to run into challenges, right? It's normal. You're going to run into challenges. And if you do, reach out to your peers, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to other people, and just get help and get through it, right? Because all this stuff that you're learning, all this marketing and this closing and the sales, you've got to learn this stuff no matter where you go. It's not like, there's an easier push button way somewhere else, right? So if you go chase another shiny object, you're going to have to do the same work over there. If you chase the next one, you got to do the same work over there. It's not going to happen until you sit down and do the work. All right? And you've got to be consistent. That's the biggest thing I could say. You have to be consistent. All right? The consistency wins over everything. That's the only difference between you and I, is that I've been doing, 2 or 3 small things consistently longer than you have. That's it. That's the only difference between you and I. I'm nobody special. I guarantee 99% of you on here are smarter than I am. It's not about brains. It's not about, genius. It's just about working, getting the work done, consistency. All right. So now you have the tools, go make it happen. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to end this. Next Friday, I'm going to talk about how I use groups to close all of my customers. All right, that's going to be a real quick thing. It's only going to take me about 15, 20 minutes to talk about that. And then the rest of the webinar will just be question and answer. So you're going to be able to take what I taught you today, apply it for a week, all right, come back with some good questions next week, and I'll answer all those questions for you, and I'll stay on, until I've answered all the questions. Okay, so that is that, guys. I am super thirsty. I think I'm actually going to pour a glass of wine and chill out because I'm like winded. I've never talked for this long straight. So thank you, everybody. I feel super humbled, super honored that so many people came on. I think at the height of this, we're like 650, 700 people. There's still 500 of you here after an hour and a half later. So awesome, so humbled. You guys have an awesome night. Having a great holiday. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's crush this thing in 2018. Peace.